Manchester United taking on Southampton. This is a really difficult game for Manchester United, and to claim 3 points in this game would suggest that Manchester United are really moving in the right direction. It really would. 3 wins on the bounce, 2 of which Manchester United should have won. We were expected to win 2 of them games, but the Everton game was a more difficult game on paper. This again, another difficult away game for Manchester United on Sunday. Southampton have been playing really well and are still picked up points earlier on the Monday Night Football, even without main man Danny Ings. Now that's going to be a big problem for Southampton if he still can't feature. I presume he is still out injured. It was seen as a fairly long-term injury for Danny Ings, so if he doesn't feature, that is a plus for Manchester United because he is their main man. Now, they started with Walcott and Adams up front in that game against Wolves on Monday night. They are going to be their 2 biggest goal threats for me going forward. So they're the 2 that we've got to pretty much keep an eye on, and obviously Ward-Prowse is one of their better players as well. We know about him. He's scored some decent goals this season as well, so they're probably the 3 danger men for Manchester United to worry about in the Southampton team. I didn't watch the game against Wolves, but it looked like they played with Adams and Theo Walcott as a front 2. Obviously Walcott and his pace could cause Manchester United some problems, so Manchester United's defence has got to be on their A game for this one. Now, I'm expecting he's going to ring changes for this one. There are a lot of people want to see a similar starting lineup to what we put out in that game against Istanbul. Now, we put out a more attacking lineup than we have done in some of the previous games, and to be honest, I think that the reason why he's putting out a more attacking lineup is because he doesn't trust the fucking defence completely for Manchester United. We've seen the defence early on in the season was absolutely bullshit, but it has improved. Harry Maguire has improved in recent weeks, and so has Lindelof, but Lindelof is carrying a back injury at this moment in time, was taken off in that game against Istanbul. I presume it was just as a precaution. So was Wan-Bissaka. From what I gather, they're both going to feature in this game, which is positive for Manchester United. Obviously, De Gea will be in goal, then it'll be that normal back 4. Telles will play at left back, Wan-Bissaka at right back, then it'll be Maguire and Lindelof as the centre halves. Now, it does look like McTominay is probably out of this game because he hasn't trained so far this week, and neither's Pogba. So, will he go for Donny van der Beek in there? Again, I'm not sure. I reckon he's going to go for Matic in there alongside Fred, which is a bit of a bummer for me for Manchester United. And then he's going to obviously go for Bruno Fernandes, and probably going to go back with Anthony Martial up front, Juan Mata out on the right, and then Marcus Rashford out on the left. I would personally go for Greenwood out on the right, but he's going to probably go for Mata again. Mata just isn't a right winger, shouldn't be playing there, doesn't offer enough for me. And obviously Matic, I would go for Donny van der Beek instead of him, but he probably won't, and we'll go with the safetier option of Matic and Fred in there. But I don't think he's going to go for Edinson Cavani. He did have a decent game against Istanbul. Unfortunately, it didn't happen for him in front of goal, and he wasn't able to get himself on the score sheet, but because he played all the game in that one, I would expect that he's going to come out of this game. He may well start against PSG, I don't know, but I would expect he's probably going to start on the substitutes bench in this one. But Greenwood was trying, when he come on in that game against Istanbul, was trying to force it and get himself a goal, but did get himself an assist later on for Dan James. He could also start on that right hand side. I would presume he'd go back to Juan Mata again out on that right hand side, but as I say, I would go for Greenwood. Then you would have the front 3 that caused the most problems last season of Rashford, Martial and Greenwood, although Martial really does need to get himself a Premier League goal. The goals have really dried up this season for Anthony Martial. I know he did miss 3 Premier League games where he was banned, but really he's got to get in and amongst the goals this season, because otherwise he's going to end up being dropped for Edinson Cavani, because Cavani's movement and that he isn't a striker, I don't think. Either Rashford or Martial, I've said this countless times, neither of them should be playing at centre forward for me. They're not strikers. They don't score enough goals. They don't get in the right positions to be a striker. They're just not strikers. And I know I've criticised them for not being consistent enough over the time, but it's just not their game. You could play Raheem Sterling up front, Eden Hazard up front, but they're not strikers either. Okay, they're more they're less of inside forwards than Rashford and Martial are, but still they've played centre forward in the past, and it's not their A game. And I don't think it's these two A game either for Manchester United. I think both of them are better out and wider areas. They're wide forwards for me, and eventually I do believe probably Edison Cavani will hopefully start scoring goals and will take that number 9 position. But you've got to look at his age. He's 33 now. It's not the long-term option for Manchester United, but we've got to start putting more chances away in the Premier League. We haven't scored enough goals in the Premier League. We've scored a lot in the cup competitions this season. We scored, about 6 in the League Cup, and then we scored countless goals in the Champions League. But in the league, the goals have been less. So we've got to try and put some chances away, score some goals in the Premier League. But at this moment in time, Bruno Fernandes, probably the main midfielder in Europe at this moment in time. I've said this in a previous video, the absolute fucking dog's bollocks at this moment in time. Scoring so many goals, creating chances as well, and he has been an absolute revelation for Manchester United since he's come in. 47 million, fucking hell. The signings we've made since Fergie's left, and this guy has been unbelievable. It really has. It was a signing that I really wanted Manchester United to make. In previous videos before we signed him, I did say I really wanted Manchester United to sign the geezer, and I never thought that he would score the amount of goals and create the amount of chances that he has, but he was still hitting high number of goal contribution abroad in Europe, and that was good enough for me for a midfielder, and he's just proved it here that he's got even better, and hopefully it can continue. Hopefully he can get himself on the score sheet again in this one. If Greenwood does start, hopefully he can get on the score sheet. Martial and Greenwood really do need to get on the score sheet because it would be their first Premier League goals of the season. He needs to get that monkey off their back, definitely. But I think it's going to be a difficult game. I think the likes of Theo Walcott, Ward-Prowse, as I say, Adams are going to cause Manchester United problems in this game. And I think Manchester United are going to struggle to get the victory in this one. I think Manchester United are going to draw this game 1-1. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. It would be a poor result though if Manchester United can't win this game, considering the position we're in. If we could get the 3 points in this game, we would be so much closer because we've got a game in hand. Wouldn't be too far off challenging for a top 4 place for the Christmas period, and then who knows, there's not that much gap between us and the top teams. Could we still challenge for 2nd, 3rd position? It seems bizarre at this moment in time, but it could still have a good run, could still be put together, and it could happen, but the chances are we will just be too inconsistent yet again. But we need to get that starting lineup that we know what we want. We got that so well after the lockdown for a period where we knew the starting lineup that we wanted out, and it was playing well, consistently playing well. And we've chopped and changed a bit this season. It hasn't helped with the games coming thick and fast with the coronavirus and whatever else has happened. But we've got to get the consistency that Manchester United need to push us on up the table. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're watching this on Facebook, please do hit the share button. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.